Alright, let's begin our AutoCAD lesson, specifically AutoCAD 2-dimensional. For the first step, we'll start with an introduction to using the mouse and keyboard. Here we have the mouse has a zoom scroll, a pan scroll, as well as right click and left click functions. For example, left click is used to execute commands such as clicking on line. Left click, then click on the screen, click again, and so on. Then, for the keyboard, after we're done, we press escape. So escape is specifically used to exit. Next, there's the essential function of scrolling. Okay. For scrolling, we typically click the middle button, then carefully press and hold the scroll and subsequently move it. As a result, the entire screen will smoothly shift its position. It is important to understand that this operation does not move the drawing object itself, but rather it exclusively shifts the visible area of the screen. Then there's right click, which is for options or selections. That's the initial introduction to the computer mouse. Next, we will discuss the keyboard. The essential keys we often frequently use are the escape key, the spacious spacebar, and the crucial enter key. As I mentioned earlier, the escape key is specifically designed for exiting commands. Then we have the spacebar and the enter key, which essentially serve the very same fundamental function: to execute commands. These keys can also be effectively utilized to exit a current operation, or to conveniently repeat the last command that was performed. For instance, let's say I want to draw a continuous line using the polyline tool. I would left click to define points, then finish the sequence, close the shape, and finally press escape to complete the command. Immediately after that, I can simply press the spacebar to repeat the entire process again. Now, it will immediately go back to the last command, which is line again. Then, when you eventually want to exit from this particular operation, you can simply use the escape key, the spacebar, or the enter key to complete the action. Usually the most commonly used is space because it's the easiest and closest. That's how it is. That's how to operate the mouse and keyboard. Next, we will proceed to set up AutoCAD. Usually, if we are utilizing a laptop computer, it is generally not as fast or as powerful as using a dedicated desktop computer, so it absolutely needs to be properly configured and optimized. The first thing is to set the speed. Usually, the problem is with the VGA, the movement is a bit slow. So just right-click in the middle of the screen here, then select Option at the very bottom, Option. Now the options menu is open, and here there are a few things we need to set. The first is the display menu. For the display settings, we will carefully select the color button and then proceed to click it. Upon clicking, we will then change the background color to a pristine white, ensuring a clean and clear visual presentation for our purposes. In the context menu, you will find 2D model space and then uniform background. What we specifically need to change is the color section. Here, we will carefully change it to a pure white color, and then proceed to click the Apply and Close button. The reason I prefer a white background is because when I want to print or print in color, the bright colors will be visible. If we use a black background, we have to draw with bright colors, while bright colors on white paper are of course less clear, but everyone has their own preferences, so it's also fine to use black as the background. Next, go to the System menu. In the System menu, what we need to change is the performance setting. Here, there is adaptive degradation. We uncheck it to turn it off, and then on the right side, there is manual tune. Yes, this one takes a bit longer to open, but now it has appeared, and then we enable hardware acceleration. This one isn't active, maybe because the VGA driver on the laptop hasn't been installed yet. It should work if it is, so this should be checked and activated. Then for the transparency quality setting, we will select low so that the overall movement is much faster. Once that important step is completely done, please click OK and then click OK again to confirm. Next, we definitely want to proceed and set up the selection process. For the selection, what we need to change is the pick box size on the left. We increase it to match the grip size. This size is enough, then we apply it. Okay. Once that's done, we move on to, now the screen movement is already faster, as you can see. Let's test it out. Yes, when we click this, the movement is already fast and no longer lagging.